wouldn't be. Perpuck here, and welcome back to another episode of Race the Ramen, the show where I attempt to review something unscripted in the amount of time it takes to boil an instant ramen. And today we'll be taking a look at Halloween Forever, available now on Nintendo Switch. Special thanks to Chuhai Labs for sending me a game code. Thanks, y'all. Alright, we're going to start the timer right now. Okay, so, Halloween Forever. There's not a lot that I can say about this one because it's a pretty simple game. It is a Halloween-themed 2D platformer in a sort of hybrid, upgraded-looking 8-bit style, pixelated retro look. And you play as one of many different characters who all vomit up different things to fight off creatures of the night in an attempt to stop Halloween from lasting forever. And, yeah, it's a pretty simple little game, but it's very well polished. Well, for the most part. It feels like one of those really faithfully made NES-style fan games where, like, there's a live system, there's instant death spikes, there's enemies all over the place, very simple controls that could easily work on a 2-button NES controller, stuff like that. But it abstains, again, for the most part, from a lot of the cheaper aspects of that stuff, and you have a tightly controlling, very nicely, spookily themed, enjoyable little platformer. It's short. There's only about, I want to say 5-6 levels. They're reasonably long, 2 bosses apiece. But yeah, you can beat this game in maybe less than an hour if you're really good. And, if you're especially good, even less than that. But I feel like it was, built that way. It seems like the kind of game with the multiple characters and, you know, some collectibles to find here and there, that it was meant to be played multiple times to experience everything. And I feel like I would like to replay this at some point. I don't know if I want to go for everything, but it's enjoyable enough that I'd go back to play it again. If I had to complain, and I do, because it's my job, I'd have to say that, one, I'm not a huge fan of instant kill spikes, and there are a lot of them in this game. So that's just something you're gonna have to accept going in. Two, I feel like sometimes the camera moves kind of fast and doesn't do a great job of keeping up with where you're going or showing you what's gonna come up ahead of you. There aren't so much leaps of faith as there are, like, hops of faith, but it's still a of faith kind of thing, where you're not entirely sure sometimes where you're gonna run into, and it can be a little frustrating. I actually had to play this game on the setting that gives you 99 lives, because I cannot beat this game with no continues on, like, 5 lives. At the very least, not at the outset. And I enjoyed it a lot more using that option, and I appreciate that that option is there. There's some other pretty decent accessibility options and ways to play the game, which I appreciate. It's a clearly, lovingly, and well put together little package. I believe it was made by just one person, which is all the more impressive. And it's just a good Halloween-themed game that I can recommend. At a weird time of year, but I can recommend it. Turn it off. There we go. This whole thing's a mess. Hopefully that gave you a decent impression of what I think of the game. I think that for its very reasonable price tag of $10, it is a very polished, very enjoyable, charming budget title. That being said, it is, like I said before, a pretty simple game and a budget title, so there's only so much you can really expect. But yeah, for a low-price game made by one person, this is pretty damn good. So I'm gonna give Halloween Forever a solid 7 out of 10. Again, no masterpiece, but I can see myself coming back to it and finding more depth in it than maybe I even found the first time, collecting everything, should the mood strike me. If you're in a Halloween-y mood, then just put this game on and it'll feel like it's Halloween forever. I mean, it may be March right now, but hey, every day is Halloween in 2021.